A Clark County grand jury has indicted Dwayne Keith Davis with 1 count of open murder with use of a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement. Davis will appear in court in the next few days or so for a hearing to determine his custody status and to set a jury trial date. This grand jury has been receiving evidence for months and has determined there is sufficient evidence to justify the filing of this criminal indictment. I've assigned 2 of my top prosecutors, Mark DiGiacomo and Banu Palal, to prosecute this case. I know a lot of people have been watching and waiting for this day. Tupac Shakur is a music legend, and for a long time, this community and worldwide have been wanting justice for Tupac. Today we are taking that first step. Tupac was actually quoted as saying, "Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive. Never surrender." Well, we didn't surrender thanks to the great work of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department under the leadership of Sheriff Kevin McMahill, Lieutenant Johansson, retired Detective Cliff Mogg. I am proud to announce the return of this document. This is the indictment we've been waiting almost 3 decades for. It spells out the facts and circumstances and what justifies a Clark County grand jury in returning an indictment. Justice will be served. Thank you.
Yo, so y'all just got to see that bullshit. It's been almost 30 years. I want to say it's been 27 years to the date where Tupac Shakur was shot and murdered in Las Vegas. And I was 13 fucking years old. Now, while a lot of people is rejoicing, it's not a happy day. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not jump to celebrating. And these are the reasons why. First reason, Las Vegas police, I think, has something to do with this shit. Not only that, I think it was bigger than them, right? What he's saying, New Jack City, this is bigger than Nino Brown. I think this is bigger than the Las Vegas Police Department. I think they covered it up. And I think Keefe D may have been the shooter, or at least in the car when Tupac was shot. So at the very least, he should have been charged with accessory to murder. This is some new shit, how a nigga takes a plea deal and gets immunity and takes a plea deal on Alfred plea when he was in the vehicle with people that shot someone. Now, according to my knowledge, if you in the car with somebody and they commit an armed robbery, there's a charge for accessory to armed robbery. How the fuck did this nigga evade accessory to murder? Even if he wasn't the gunman, how the fuck are you in the car with the person that shot the man? So this shit stinks of cover up, corruption. Now I'm assuming it's been almost 30 years. All the people that were involved in Las Vegas are probably in their 60s or dead. And I'm thinking the same thing said true for the FBI. If they were the people that put Keefe D and Baby Lane, aka Orlando Anderson, up to murdering Tupac, I think that they're either retired senior citizens or they dead, right? It's been 30 years. Everybody involved probably was in their early to mid 30s, if not 40s. And now they're probably about 60, 70 years old. So there's not really no justice that's been served. Not only that, Keefe D has gone on since the murder, has gone on to write a book, appear on all these fucking TV platforms, or at least internet platforms like Art of Dialogue, Vlad TV. If I'm not mistaken, I think he probably was even on No Jumper. This piece of shit should have been convicted. Now I'm assuming if there was a federal plot to murder Tupac, I think this nigga probably went on TV or went on the internet and was just running his mouth, disclosing that he signed an Alfred plea. All the people in the car was dead, including his nephew. And I think the powers that be, they was just like, yo, like, you talking too much. You bringing too much light on the fact that we let your ass skate with murder of the most iconic rappers of all time. So I think that if the people that were involved that put them up to it are still alive, they covering their tracks. because nobody hears you when you in prison. They hide you in prison. You become muffled, silenced, if you will. So I think, yeah, they just trying to get this nigga out the way. They trying to hide this nigga so he can shut the fuck up. If he goes to prison, his book disappears. People stop talking about him. The public eye is taken away from Tupac's murder. All is well in paradise. So I think it's bigger than Keefe D. I think it's bigger than the LAPD. I think it's some federal shit. Now, a lot of people call Tupac fans that think like I do conspiracy theorists, because they like to say, well, Tupac was just a rapper. But if you're over the age of 30, you know that Tupac wasn't just a rapper. Tupac actually was the icon and the symbol of what black people should be in America. Now, he did have his faults. Was he reckless? Did he punch out one of the Hughes brothers? Yeah. Did he talk shit? Was he accused of sexual assault by some lying ass bitch? Yes. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. You don't get your dick sucked on the floor by a hoe and then the next day you raped her. Like it don't work like that. So he had his faults, but all in all, he stood up for black people. So much so that the nigga actually jumped out of a limo while he seen a black man getting beat up by two white men, had no idea what the situation was, dumped on them niggas, and was acquitted of shit. Or at least charges was dropped. That right there is a symbol of like all these niggas walking around seeing black people get shot and choked out by police and ain't doing shit but holding their phone up. You cowards. There were no phones. But even if there was back then, Tupac wouldn't have fucking jumped out and filmed the shit. He would have jumped out and did the same shit he did in 1993. So like that is what black people should be doing. Speaking up about injustice, trying to fight injustice, keeping a nigga or keeping motherfuckers off a nigga ass in public, regardless of what the situation is. Now I talk shit about black women and I say that, you know, they probably need the ass kicked when somebody jumping on them. In all actuality, if I seen a black woman getting accosted by some white people, I'm jumping in. I'm helping her out. Like I'll sort the shit out later. Now if she getting beat up by a black person, I'm probably gonna let it rock because like I said in the previous episode, we reactive. If a black person is kicking a black person ass, they probably did something to deserve that shit. If a white person jumping on a black person, I'm gonna check it out. Cause usually 9 chances out of 10, you doing something and you beating a nigga up for no other reason other than they black. Like you fucking with them. So yeah, like that's why Tupac is the most beloved rapper of all time. He wasn't the only rapper that got shot. He wasn't the only rapper that's died since 1996. He's beloved because of what he said and what he did, and he followed through with his actions. A lot of people can say whatever they want about him, but he was actually about what he was saying and what he rapped. Like I hate when niggas be like, Tupac wasn't no street nigga. He was in a ballet school, right? A performing arts school. Stupid niggas. Yes, he was, but he was 17. What the fuck did you do when you was 17? I bet you niggas, you hard ass niggas, when you was 17, probably was doing soft shit. Niggas was like, nigga, you know 17 being the toughest nigga. But I will go back to say that if Keefe D was not involved with the federal government in any sort of the imagination, then he is just like Quando Rondo and Lil Tim. Bitch niggas. Your man got beat up and you jumped in the car with him, and instead of telling your man or your nephew, let it go, you hand him the gun to shoot that man because he got his ass whipped. That's a bitch, and you a bitch by proxy. In any event, if you like this episode, subscribe, turn the notifications on, like, comment, and share. And as always, tell your friends. And Keefe D, I knew your ass was gonna get indicted, you bitch ass nigga. I said this on the last episode. I hope they convict your stupid ass, you old fuck. Nigga got too proud for talking all that shit on Vlad. In any event, I'm out.